Live again.
We're live again. Twice in one day.
All right.
So upstairs is the DC Pen Show. Roy and I are sitting in the basement with a whole bunch of friends. And the DC Pen Show is well attended. That is the news of the day because the line is literally out the door into the parking lot. And it's been that way for the last hour or so. So that is good news. This is Storyteller's episode number 7. And I'm really happy to be here with Penboy Roy because I think you're kind of a mystery.
Apparently I'm kind of a mystery, but first I just want to say how exciting it is to be here at the DC Pen Show. There hasn't been a pen show of this size or magnitude, I think, in the last year and a half. Or last year because of everything that's going on in the world. And today is a very busy day, and as Katie was saying... Katie.
Who sometimes is Caddy.
Right. Katie.
It's okay.
Katie upstairs, there's a huge line. I was getting breakfast. There's like 60 people in the line trying to get into the pen show. I think it's fantastic. I'm really excited. I was really nervous coming into the pen show thinking to myself, what's going to happen if there's all these vendors and there's like 3 people buying pens, right?
Yeah.
It would be terrible. But thanks everybody for joining, and thanks everybody in the room. You guys can't see, but there's like a full crowd. There's at least 1,000 people in this room right now. And you guys can't see it because the camera's pointed at us.
Yeah, it's like a stadium concert.
It's just like when the Beatles first came. Thanks for all the hearts. If you guys could see, which you can't, you would see that there is a gentleman wearing one of the finest T-shirts ever created in the history of T-shirts ever. A Penboy Roy Fountain Pen Review Channel T-shirt. I just want to thank you.
No free plugs. No free plugs.
So that's Brian over there. Everybody, if you listen to the podcast, Brian is the guy over at Kenro Industries. Kenro Industries are the people that are hosting this Storyteller Lives, a.k.a. Esterbrook. And he's the handsome fellow over there. You can't see, but he's also got one of my stickers on his shoulder. And I think it's just...
You've got product placement all over the place.
It makes the world. I think it's just fantastic. I also want to talk about other people in this room. You got Youst Applebaum over there.
Right.
We got Snowy Studio. We got Vanessa Langton, my homegirl pen gangster over here. And we got over there Drew Brown, Goulet Pens.
Yeah.
Everybody, let's give our audience. All right.
Drew, did you bring the good and plenties? That's all I wanted.
Why would you do that? You should be interviewing somebody.
Getting to it. Okay. Penboy Roy.
That's me.
What the heck is your real name?
Penboy Roy.
Okay, and since you're not really allowed to tell us what your real name is, without telling...
I can tell you my real name. My real name is Roy Kim. You know what the thing is, you can Google me, but Kim is one of the most prominent last names in Korea, so you'll come up with other celebrities. I'm not even joking. There is another Roy Kim out there, several actually.
I don't think there's another Penboy Roy Kim.
There is not, because no one would actually voluntarily take the name Penboy Roy. That's why it works for me. You know?
So, you and I have had a little bit of a conversation about what you do-ish.
Right.
So, without telling people exactly what you do, can you kind of talk a little bit about it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's secret.
Yeah, it's secret. A lot of stuff that I can't talk about when it comes to my employment. But it does afford me the ability to purchase pens and make pen videos and do podcasts for pens.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's all that's important.
I told you it's a mystery.
Yeah, there's a lot about me that's a mystery. What's not a mystery is my love for fountain pens.
So which was your first fountain pen?
Oh, my first fountain pen was the Cross Adventura. It was a $20 pen. Actually, no, that's not true. My first fountain pen was given to me by my father when I was in 4th grade. And that fountain pen, he told me, if you write with a fountain pen, it's going to make your handwriting so much better. So I had expected to go into class and to wow my teacher, but I just, didn't. The ink cartridge ran out. I don't remember what model.
Yeah.
Pause. Unpause. We're back. So I used it to dig up bugs in the schoolyard, and then I would put the bugs in sandwich bags.
So the nibs make an excellent shovel.
It does. I don't know what happened to that pen, and I don't know what kind of trouble I got into.
I'm more worried about the bugs than the pen.
I don't think the bugs were doing so well. I didn't know how to take care of bugs, especially out of a sandwich bag.
So you actually do, you've reviewed a lot of pens. And I wanted to know what you think makes you a good pen reviewer.
I think one of the things that makes me a good pen reviewer is part of my personality is I like to call things out for what they are, as they are. If I have to say something mean, I will. If I have to say something good, I will. And also, as much of a disaster as I am, and if my wife were here, which she's not, I'm very disorganized and I'm messy. But when it comes to my fountain pen reviews, one of the things I like to do are good to spend money. The ugly elements about the pen that should not be, but are, and then finally high noon, whether or not you should pull the trigger on the pen or not. And the reason why I went with the good, the bad, the ugly, and high noon, neutral zone, all that stuff is because as a kid, I was a huge fan of that Clint Eastwood movie, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not particularly a fan of shooting anybody or pulling triggers or anything like that. That's where it came from. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. And I just thought it'd make a great concept. Then I bought a camera. I bought Final Cut Pro 10 and lost my mind. If you look at my videos from 2018, I created like short films that were disastrous. I leave it up there to embarrass myself.
You talk really fast on them too.
Okay, so I edit it so that I do talk fast because
So
I'm like, I was traumatized by the fact that I had to subject someone to a 28-minute pen video. So I'm like, I got to cut this down straight to the end. And I'm like, oh, good, it's a 4-minute video cut down from like an hour and a half so that people don't have to start. But then people were like, listen, you kind of sound like the Micro Machine Man on crack. Do you guys remember the Micro Machine Man? Yeah?
Yeah.
Micro Machine, the guy talks so fast, talking about little cars. So then I just started thinking, you know what? I'll slow it down. I'll just condense all the information and bullet point it, talk straight into the camera. I'm not going to just ad-lib it. I'll write out a script, and that's I try to keep it very concise, and people appreciate or seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, until I say something that offends them, and then they write to Kieran and tell them to fire Tom.
You should. You should hear it in our house. Sometimes we listen to it on like 2.0, just
Right.
speed, just to hear what it sounds like. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't think I could tolerate myself talking
You
that
can't
fast.
really catch the information even at that point. It's going so quickly.
Right.
But it's
like a foreign
definitely
language.
a really nice experiment.
Oh.
Yeah, we try it once in a while.
I try not to watch myself as much as possible.
Yeah. You don't like to see yourself on a big screen.
Not just that. It's kind of weird because like everybody doesn't like the sound of their own voice or the look of the way they look on screen. Like I'm looking at myself right now and I'm like, why is anybody watching this?
You look pretty good. What are you talking about?
That's because my wife dresses.
You look good.
She tells me what to wear, and I do what she says.
She's very fashionable.
She is
very beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
And I do what she says so I don't get in trouble.
That's really smart.
So, right.
Have you ever given
Yours is married because he's just like yes.
Yes.
Like a real intense eyes. Yes.
Have you ever given a bad pen review and felt badly about it or changed your mind about the pen?
No, I don't think so. I think, yes, I've given bad pen reviews, but I don't give them bad pen reviews for the sake of being negative. I'll say a pen is not good because it's not good. For example, I'm not going to mention any names, but some of doesn't mean other people can't mention names. Some pens they have the cap is not airtight, for example. So you cap the pen overnight, you pick it up to write again, and it's already dried out.
Yeah.
That's not okay, right?
Yeah,
You put a pen down overnight.
Information for people to know.
Right, unless some people don't care. Like there are some larger brands out there, like names, but like one of the pens that I really crushed, and I felt like was for good cause, was the Parker 51. If you guys love the Parker 51, great. But I'm just saying the new release of the Parker 51, I think, was not up to standards. And I said that New Well Rubbermaid, the parent company of Parker, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? So I say things honestly, and I honestly don't feel bad about saying things honestly. That's it.
I think it's fair. I mean, you're providing a service, right? Like part of it is just to help people spend their money in a wise way and entertain them.
Sure, as much as I can.
I know we have like a mosquito. Yeah. There's a whole thing going on.
Yeah.
Over here.
Your mask matches my shirt. I'm looking at the camera.
I did it on purpose. I did that totally on purpose.
Yeah,
we planned that. What percentage of your collection would you say is green pens?
Oh, I don't know. A lot. I took a photograph on my Instagram, at PenboyRoy on Instagram. And
which I have clearly stopped to know that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I took a picture of a bunch of green pens, and then I realized, like, those aren't all of them. So I would say, I don't know how many pens I actually have because I have so many, but I would say a good quarter of them are green.
Yeah.
Some version of green.
Yeah, I'm a green person too.
By the way, when Esterbrook releases a green pen, and I find out about it without having it in front of me, I get real butthurt about that.
Because we're looking at you.
We're looking at Brian Holzer over there because he's the guy in charge. And then I'll see Vanessa Langton's Instagram and she'll have a green pen. I'll be like, wait a minute. I've never seen this before.
Do you have a favorite Esterbrook?
My favorite Esterbrook. My favorite color is green.
Clearly.
However, I want to say my favorite Esterbrook is the Esterbrook oversized sparkle in garnet. That's the right name, right? The garnet?
Garnet, yeah.
Yeah, that has got to be my favorite one.
Matches the shirt.
It matches the shirt without the gold sparkly stuff. I personally think, but Ryan and Brian from Kenro will disagree with me. I personally think that the Esterbrook SD oversize is the best version of the Esterbrook SD that they have. But they seem to like the standard size better. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, even though they're wrong. But the oversize, I think, is the best. It doesn't post, but I just like the.
Is it for the size only, or is there something else?
I like the size. I feel like I like the balance, even though you don't post it. But the weight and the density of the pen when you write, it changes the feel of the nib on the paper. You know, like if you take a light pen and a heavy pen and you put the same nib on both pens, they will feel different.
Absolutely.
I like the way that the oversized feels when writing with it more than the standard size.
That makes perfect.
I like the standard size. I just think that the oversized is the best version.
So any green oversize, you have to send to Roy.
Have to.
Have to.
Yeah.
In front of everybody watching. The
Yes.
millions. Is anybody saying stuff?
People. Yeah, people are probably
People are waving.
stuff.
Look.
Hi. Do you have a nib size you prefer, or nib style you prefer?
When you say nib size, are you talking about like number 5, number 6, or are you talking about fine, medium, broad?
Both, actually.
Okay, I like finer nibs.
Mm-hmm.
So the fine that I like in a Euro nib is, like, when I say Euro, I mean like Bach or Yovo. I like extra fine to fine.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to like Japanese pens, I like fine, but those are generally finer than an extra fine in like a Yovo or a Bach nib. But I particularly like finer. I tried to go thicker because I promised my co-host on the PenboyRoy Entertainment podcast, available on all podcasting apps. I promised him that I would try larger nib sizes, and I went with mediums, and I'm trying with broads. I feel like it just doesn't work for me. And it's true. The broader the nib, the more shading you get in ink. It's more fun to play with different, colors of ink.
Sure.
But I find that the finer nibs are more to my taste.
And you have really nice handwriting. So
Thank you.
whoever has
Appreciate it.
not spent time looking at the feet, it's good.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I try, but I think I don't hold a candle to.
This is great. Yeah.
Like, I don't hold a candle to Vanessa or Tom. They had a flex off. And by the way, don't listen to whatever Vanessa or Tom says. I created the flex off belt. Do we have a belt? Do we have a belt with you?
It's upstairs.
But anyway, it's a little like championship belt like they have in the WWE or the UFC. And then Tom is going to challenge, or Vanessa or myself will challenge someone to a flex off. I'm not challenging Snowy Studio because I've seen her handwriting. I'm only challenging people that I can beat. But then, we'll write the same sentence live on IG or something like that. We'll use a pen. And then the winner gets like a little belt that looks like those And Vanessa got it even though she didn't win.
That's awesome.
But she's awesome, so she gets. But we got that going. I created it. My idea.
No, we didn't.
Totally did.
On the record here, I guess.
It was totally my idea. It's on the
record.
podcast.
So
we talk about it on the show.
I really want you to say yes to this question.
Okay.
I know you'll only say yes if it's true. Do you keep a journal?
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
I do.
Wouldn't you love to read this thing? Like, I want to know what's in that journal.
So my journal, if you listen to the recent episode 81 of the PenboyRoy Entertainment podcast, we actually talk about shameless plugs.
It's okay.
We actually
Your
talk
stage.
about journaling. Now, what my journal looks like is far different than what you would imagine. Like my journal is literally, I'll just open up and I'll scribble a ball of ink just to see. It's just a mess. It's not a pleasant looking journal. Sometimes I'll write down random thoughts about a movie, ideas for the next podcast or something like that. But there's no organization. There's no concept, and nothing makes sense.
Do you keep a lock on it?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm just imagining it as like, the little pink diary with the lock.
No. Actually, if they had one in green, I would do it just to have a key to.
Oh, we gotta find that.
I actually want to get one. Out. Do you ever see the movie The Mummy, where they find like this big book?
Here we go.
And. So anyway, the Mummy movie was a movie with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. And
it's a really good movie.
It's a really good movie. So Drew and Tom apparently like to make fun of the fact that I like Brendan Fraser movies.
I love Brendan Fraser movies.
So there's a book, and he unlocks it, and then there's like writing that doesn't make sense. And if you read it, it wakes up like mummies and zombies and stuff like that. I want to have a book where I just write random stuff that doesn't make any sense. 100 years from now, they're going to open it and be afraid to read that because there's going to be like a sarcophagus somewhere around, and they're going to think they're going to wake up zombies and stuff.
Create an apocalypse?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I like it.
That's my legacy. That's what I want to leave.
Do you have a favorite quote? Even if you can't, say it verbatim, do you have a mantra or an expression or something that you
I personally do.
Okay.
I always say to people, be well, be safe. And that's what shows up at the end of my reviews, because that's what I always say to people when I say bye to them. And if I, don't.
That means you don't like them.
It means I don't want them to be well or safe. No, I'm kidding. No, I just forgot. But I usually say be well, be safe to people. Before I started the channel and everything like that. Yeah, I was just be safe. Right? Because what else, what else can you depart with someone that's more important than that, right?
Sure.
Go have a cheeseburger. Right? Right? Like, don't be home late. I don't know. Like, be well, be safe. It's perfect. Right? It covers everything.
It's succinct. It's succinct. Short.
It's a saint?
No, it's succinct.
No. What?
It's not succinct.
I don't have good vocabulary. What is she talking about?
Succinct means it says everything in a few words.
Oh, okay.
Is that right?
Yes, it's succinct.
Good. Okay, cool. So
I gotta write that down somewhere.
Yeah, write it in your journal.
Right.
Are fountain pens bougie?
I don't think they're bougie. Why do you bring that up?
Because you had a podcast where you're talking about if they're bougie or not, and I want to know what you think.
Oh, that was right. Bougie pens. Did we talk about the Impossible Burger that same episode?
I don't know, but is an Impossible Burger bougie?
No, it's not even a burger.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that episode we talked
burger
about.
Shaped.
We talked about the Impossible Burger because maybe we thought that the Impossible Burger was bougie. And in the same sentence, we talked about fountain pens being bougie. I don't really think you should take the whole thing seriously. Drew, did you raise your hand?
No, just scratch my nose.
Okay. But I don't think they're bougie because I know a guy who literally has over a dozen pens. And to me, if you have over a dozen pens, that's enough pens for... You should make that guy stay. Right? It's like you open, now you gotta stay and listen.
He has to actually come be interviewed.
I think they're not bougie because he literally has over a dozen pens, and to me, that many pens constitutes a collection, and they're all Lamy Safaris, All Stars, and Metropolitans.
Yeah.
And he loves fountain pens. But he's also the same guy that'll take and one of my favorite pens is the Montegrappa Mia 450 in celluloid.
Me too.
He'll look at that, and he'll look at a Lamy Safari, they're both made of plastic, right? And to me, that's as easy as saying a McDonald's patty. Not saying that the Lamy Safari is McDonald's patty. I'm just trying to draw a conclusion. So if anybody gets butthurt,
just a comparison.
Just a comparison, okay? That's like saying a Applebee's steak is the same as a Wagyu A5 ribeye. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Like the Montegrappa Mia 450.
Do you have one?
I do.
What color?
Yellow.
I have red. It's a great pen, right?
Oh, I love it.
So
I never understood celluloid until I had a celluloid pen in my hand, and this lovely lady has a Montegrappa Mia 450 right here. Let's show everybody. This is really nice. This is the black one.
What's the blue?
The blue one.
Good.
It's really but the thing is I know, but the problem with technology is it fails to capture
how it feels.
Yeah, how it feels. It also fails to capture how it looks. Right? I can do this all day long. Right? And no one will know what I'm looking at until they come to a show like this one and play with it. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So, I forgot where we were going because I tend to ramble.
That's okay. We were talking about bougie pens.
Bougie, yes. So I don't think that the hobby is bougie. I think some pens can be bougie, but I don't think that the hobby is bougie. And the same thing about watches. You know? So, I think I'm an animal lover across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I like them so much? Because they got so much personality. They don't let me enjoy my free time because they're so needy.
How many do you have?
I have 3 cats.
What are their names?
Garfield, he's the orange one because Garfield is very original. No one else has ever thought to name their orange cat Garfield. And I really thought like that when I was naming because I got him when he was like 3 weeks old. He was actually found walking across the street in Jackson Heights on Northern Boulevard. And if you know anything about Queens, that's a very busy intersection. So we found that kitten. He was literally the size of a hamster walking across the street. We nearly caused like a 20-car pileup because I was like, "Mom!" Got out, rescued the cat. Then we looked around and we found a bin with a box in the garbage with 3 more. So we rescued those 3. We ended up just giving them out to friends. I kept the Garfield, the orange one. And I thought to myself, he's orange and he's a cat. I'm going to name him Garfield.
No one's
ever thought of this before. It's so clever and original. Then, I Googled, orange cats, and, everybody who has an orange
95%
cat.
95% of them are called
95% of them are named Garfield. 5% are named Heathcliff. Does anybody remember Heathcliff?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Heathcliff. That was a great cartoon.
We're aging ourselves a little bit when we age ourselves a little bit when we talk about Heathcliff cartoons, but...
Yeah. Family Circus also.
Family Circus was so good.
Yeah.
Kathy was really
Peanuts,
awesome.
Yeah. I loved all those, yeah.
Okay, some rapid fire questions.
Rapid fire questions. That means we didn't get to the list of other questions because this is about. She said towards the end we're going to do some rapid fire questions.
Yeah,
she had actually emailed me all the questions, and I didn't read any of them.
Yeah.
Because I like spontaneity. Is my answer. It's because I'm lazy, really. So that's why I get good at spontaneity because I have to. Because you'll send me information. I'm like, okay, great. I got other things to do.
Yeah. But here's the thing. As an interviewer, I would actually prefer that no one sees the questions and no one reads them. But I also want people to be comfortable and not feel like I'm going to get too personal. So it's more for all of you than for me. And if you don't want to look at them, I'm great with that.
Yeah. So. I love the M1000. That's a pen that I have not acquired.
Keep taking your
right. This is a pen I have not acquired, but this is probably going to eventually be one of those
beautiful.
pens. Yeah, this is the I don't know what they even call
Green
it.
Ray.
The Green Ray.
Yeah, if this is any indication of the rest of your collection.
Right.
I've seen some of your other pens.
Yeah, this is
a really nice collection.
Is the Green Ray bought from up above?
Of course.
No free plugs. Goodbye, Annabelle.
One of my, I will say one of my favorite segments you've done, and I apologize because it wasn't on your podcast, but your top 3 pens was great. I love everyone's top 3 pens. It's a great series. So.
Well, so my good friend Joost over there from Applebaum reached out to me. He's like, hey, listen, I want to get your top 3. So he said it doesn't have to be something he sells. He legitimately wanted to know my personal top 3 for whatever reason that they are my top 3. So those pens are my personal top 3 specifically for my own reasons. I don't think anyone else can relate to them.
Yeah, but they don't need to, right? I mean, that's what's so amazing about pen collection. When you look at everyone's collections, there's reasons for everything in the collection, but it's personal, really personal.
Yeah. So. I mean, and just to recap those pens,
Yeah, it was a good selection.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a very good selection, right? Yeah. It was a Pineider Legrand Bellezza Dolomite Green. That was the first pen that Dante Del Vecchio came out with for Pineider back in 2017, was it? Yeah. Then as I spoke about before, the Montegrappa Mia 450 in yellow. What's the actual name? Is it just yellow?
Yellow celluloid.
Yeah, yellow celluloid. Yeah, they come up with real original names over there in Montegrappa. So it was, and I love it. It looks like the lemon flavored Starburst, which was my favorite when I was a kid. And then the number one for me was the Nettuno 1911 that Nino Marino made specifically for me. He actually asked me my favorite color. I told him my favorite color. He picked out the pen. He made it, had it engraved with Penboy Roy, the Savage Green edition.
Unbelievable.
So that to me was just
That's
fantastic.
pretty epic.
Yeah, those were my top three for the Joost Appelboom top three collections.
Yeah, it's like my dream to do that. So someday I'm going to be able to get to name my top three.
Okay.
So someday. Yeah.
Okay.
You got it? My partner's right here. Do I always talk about it?
She does.
We'll talk about
I'm like, someday. Okay, quick fire questions.
Quick
You
fire
ready?
questions. Yes, I think she wants to do the top three.
Yeah, what makes
Okay,
it better?
I'm not sure.
Could you arrange that for me?
Can we work that out so that way we'll talk about it?
What makes a better pen holder? Dr. Evil or Rebel Ice Cream?
Dr. Evil.
Okay. Keto or Atkins?
Whoa,
I know, it was such a mean question.
that is not the ketogenic diet is not the Atkins diet.
I know I said or.
Oh,
Yes, so
Yeah,
keto, clearly, right? Pens or watches?
I'm so tempted to just go into like a.
I know you are. I know you are. We'll do a whole episode someday
Just on
talking about
okay,
keto.
good, right,
How's that?
right. That'll
Probably
work.
not on Esterbrook, but yes. Pens or watches?
Pens.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Yoda or Grogu?
Yoda.
Brian or Ryan? Don't answer that question.
Okay.
Don't answer it.
I'll tell you, but the answer though is rhymes with crying. Is that diplomatic or what? Right?
Green or black?
Green.
Rare or well done steak?
Oh, rare. I like black and blue. Even it freaks people out though. Anybody know what black and blue is?
I love black and blue.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm with you.
Yeah, I
It's
like
basically
black
like, here's your meat.
Right. You can the way
It's still mooing basically.
you can cook a steak with an iron. Just flip it. It's all
That's
ready
black
to
and
go.
blue. I'm
Yeah,
totally
black
with
and blue.
you on that.
Yeah. Anybody else eat black and blue?
No.
No.
Rarer the better. Yep.
Great shirt. The guy with the great shirt.
Says black and blue instead. Flex or no flex?
Ooh, that's a tough one. See, I like flex, but it's not good for everyday writing. I can't write flex every day because it just takes too long. I personally, believe it or not, as much as I love doing calligraphy and flex, I always prefer a steel nib over a gold nib. Most times. Because
Cost effective.
Yeah, it's cost effective. And unless you're doing flex, I don't really use gold. And then when you have friends like Vanessa and Tom who smoke you in handwriting, I'll just take the one flex and then stick with that, you know.
What does it take to become your peeps?
Fountain pens?
Just fountain pens?
What a silly question. Like, everybody here's my peeps. Why? Because everybody
No,
loves
but
fountain pens.
on your Instagram, you call out certain people as your peeps. So, like, what does it take?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, no, I
It's
know
not
what you
such a silly question.
No. I thought you meant she's referring to my Instagram.
Yes,
I already
of course.
forgot about
I did
those
my
posts.
research.
Wow.
You know?
So
It's my job.
I guess just someone who has we text and talk on a regular basis. Something like that. I think I put Drew Brown in there as my peeps. I put Vanessa Langton as my peeps. Brian Holzer.
Carrie
was down there.
peeps?
Yeah. I'm going to do one for you. This dude's got some intense eyes. He's like, I'm like, yeah, I got you.
What's your favorite site?
Favorite site? Like for pens or just in general?
I mean, it can be pens, but just in general.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Thanks.
I honestly don't know.
Okay, that'll be episode 2, like
Right.
part 2, right?
Yeah, no, I got
We'll
to
start with that.
I got to go
for the
back
next
and
episode.
look at my internet history now.
No, just
Not in public, though. We're not doing that.
What's your
Let me
favorite?
go delete everything before.
What's your favorite sound?
My favorite sound?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that either. My favorite sound. I don't know. What's yours?
My favorite sound?
Yeah. If you don't know the answer, you ask me the question.
No, probably my nephew's voices.
Oh, that's sweet.
Because they're like kid voices still. They haven't changed. So I think
Your wife is a
that.
musician, right?
Yeah. My favorite sound is my wife playing the violin.
Yes, and your favorite site is your wife.
Yeah. My wife's Instagram. Brian, thanks. He always looks out.
What's your favorite thing to eat?
My favorite thing to eat doesn't mean I have to eat it often, right? My favorite thing to eat is a Japanese Wagyu A5 ribeye steak.
Where's your favorite place you've ever been?
My favorite place that I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Last one. This is from the Proust questionnaire. This is one of my favorite questions. Okay, but we're gonna do like the PG version of it. What's your favorite curse word? But just say what it rhymes with. Is that okay?
My favorite curse word and what it rhymes with.
Just what it rhymes with, not the actual word. Just in case there are children watching.
Right, because they can't figure it out. If my nieces are watching, you guys are so proud of me, aren't you? I guess. Well, it depends on the context, right? So, like, if I stub my toe, burp, or is it like, "Hey, you," burp, burp, you know what I mean? Like,
so it's like, those
in
two words.
In what context? You know what I mean? That
makes this question like way too complex.
Well, it's a very complex issue.
Well, I think it needs to go to part 2 then.
Right,
Also.
I think
we'll have an in-depth discussion.
Yeah. I think
on sites and also curse words.
Okay.
I think it'll make a good episode.
Yes,
and keto. Those two things.
I think we could talk about keto.
Keto, sites, and curses. Oh my!
So we're thinking about doing. Me and Tom are thinking about doing a podcast on specifically the ketogenic diet. Because I'm a wealth of knowledge of the ketogenic diet.
Who in this room will be listening to that podcast? I will.
For Tom's criticism.
Right. So,
Drew,
tell me what you think of this title. We're going to call it The Keto and the Carb. Because I'm keto and he eats carbs.
Okay, perfect.
Right?
You're the foils for the diet. Okay,
right,
I like
so
it.
Keto and the Carb.
Keto and the Carb. It's good.
Podcast.
It's really good. That's all I've got for you.
Okay, but before we sign off. Okay, so how long has it been? How long has we been on? We've been going, it's just 40 minutes. Look at that.
See?
My wife texted me only 3 times in that time. She's probably telling me to behave myself.
He did.
I want to say real quick, big thanks to Kenro Industries, Brian, Ryan, Carrie, Joel, and everybody else involved, Kate, Classman, and also new guy, Brett. His name is Brett, and he didn't know the reference when I said the Hitman. He'll learn. The best there is. The best there was.
Yeah,
the best there ever will be.
We love Kenro. Thank you.
Yes, thanks Kenro Industries.
And thanks Esterbrook.
Thanks Esterbrook.
Thank you, Penboy Roy.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't we got to plug the pen that you sent me? Am I allowed to talk about it?
Well, I don't know which one it is.
It's the
pen.
The pen, the one that rhymes with
Paradise?
no, the JR lemon twist. Can I say that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. He sent me a lemon twist. It's a Esterbrook SDJR, and it also looks like the lemon starburst. So
I like strawberry better.
What's that?
Personally, I like
strawberry is good. I like the. Oh, here we go. We got a lemon twist. This one is the orange one.
Yeah.
Orange Sunset, it's called. Yeah, this is what they got. And you know what's really cool? What I like about them is very like cat's eye type resins, and then on the top where the finial is, they have pieces from the other colors. Like the blue has the yellow finial, the orange has the blue, and the yellow has the blue. It's cool.
So you can mix and match.
Yeah, nice pocket pen. I like it. Thanks for sending it to me, Brian. I just I'm sorry. I gotta just in front of everybody. You send her all 3. I got the yellow. Let me stay. You know what I mean? All right.
He likes her more than he likes
I'm
you.
upset. I'm leaving.
right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Get back over here. Sit yourself down.
I was giving her back a pen.
It's okay. Say goodbye, everyone.
All righty.
Boy, Roy.
Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Be well. Be safe.
Bye.